Last week, things got personal on Tulsa King, as Episode 8 concluded with a literally explosive finale, as the terrorist Deacon planted a bomb at a campaign event for Carl Thresher, with Margaret unfortunately in the line of fire. Dwight and Mitch were able to get attendees out in time, avoiding major deaths when it exploded. It's still quite a shock for Dwight, who has rarely been given occasion to feel personally vulnerable since taking the reins in Tulsa. He takes it out on Deacon by beating information out of him before entombing him alive, so they're pretty much square. Manfredi still has to square things with Jeremiah Dunmire, Quiet Ray, and Special Agent Russo, but it's a good start. Episode 9 begins, as all good stories do, in Newark, New Jersey. We see a yet unnamed man filling out crossword puzzles in a nondescript van, parked in a dusty parking garage. He spots a track-suited man with pizza in hand, looking around in a paranoid fashion before ducking into the Barclay Hotel. Russell says the hotel's fire alarm has been malfunctioning, and he's there to run diagnostics. Talking his way in, Russell hacks his way into the hotel's camera system before taking the elevator up to the 5th floor, gun in hand. He lets himself in with a cloned card, rounding the corner to find his target sitting on the bed. Without missing a beat, Russell kills him, takes a slice of the man's pizza, then leaves. He returns to his base of operations, a rundown building named R&R Electrical Supply. Once settled into the shop, Russell cleans and cares for his gun before picking up an old photo of a woman with a baby, then gets a visit. It's Vince, who tells him Quiet Ray wants an in-person meet.
Quiet Ray brings a retired assassin back for one last job in Tulsa King Season 3, Episode 9.
At the meet, it becomes clear that Russell has retired from life as an assassin, but agreed to the last job simply because it was Quiet Ray who asked. The latter wants one final job. A hit on Dwight Manfredi. He has no loyalty, and in my world, that's an il bacio della morte. Russell clearly doesn't want to, looking quietly at the floor. Ain't no fucking way. Ray stands up and moves around to Russell's side, leaning over. You're acting here like you have a choice or something, when we both know that you don't. Russell gives him a mean side eye. Cue intro credits. Back with Dwight and Special Agent Russo, the latter demands Deacon. You said it was low priority, Dwight replies. Russo wants to know where he is, but Dwight sternly says, doesn't matter, don't ask me that again because he ain't coming back. He's gone forever, but before he checked out, I got everything. Dwight has a plan, continuing, everything he's ever done, what he was going to do, his associates, everything. But before I give you all this info, I want something. Russo scoffs. What, money? Dwight, Mr. Eye on the Prize, says, I want a federal liquor license. The agent asks if he's serious. I'm fucking dead serious. This is gonna make you a hero. He bounces with his sister Joanne, and we cut to Montague Distiller's latest, being shelved right alongside the Dunmire's offerings. Back at a distribution warehouse, Cole Dunmire, wearing a god-awful shirt that looks like 70s motel wallpaper, angrily confronts a forklift operator backing in with a case of Dunmire booze. What the hell's going on? He asks. I don't know, man. These are returns, the employee says. It seems they've been getting dropped by distributors.
Dwight avoids a hit in Tulsa King Season 3, Episode 9. Russell walks into the Bread to Buck saloon, his assassin's bag in tow. He has a whimsical look on his face before sitting down at the bar and ordering some booze. He takes his first sip just as Dwight and Bigfoot arrive. Russell's focused on the pair, but simply watches when Tyson slides in to kick revenue up. He tells Dwight he threw a rave with Spencer and that it went well, and banters with Dwight about its lack of danger, while Russell observes. As Tyson leaves, Russell grabs his bag and moves to approach Dwight. I believe you still owe me from that last round of gin rummy, Russell says charmingly. Is that a ghost? Good to see you, Dwight says, the pair shaking hands and grinning. Look like the general done took Tulsa, Russell exclaims. Nobody saw that coming. Dwight pours him Montague's finest, given the last time they drank together was in prison, and drags him for merely calling it tasty. Russell's impressed. You came straight here with a whole lot of nothing. Props, brother, he says, looking around. There's a pause, before Dwight replies in a serious tone. Are you gonna make me ask you why you're in Tulsa? They banter, and Russell admits to taking a little detour, Might want to call it a professional courtesy. Courtesy, Dwight says. He looks serious, and Russell looks slightly sad. Did Quiet Ray take a contract out on me? Dwight asks. He did, Russell replies. And did he hire the best? Dwight asks, pointing to Russell, who looks smug. Russell explains that if he'd taken the hit, there wouldn't be no conversation. You'd be sporting a toe tag on them two-toned gators of yours. Dwight puts his gun on the table, and Russell moves his gun bag to a visible place. Now I can breathe a little easier, Dwight says, but then points out, saying no to a guy like Ray can have consequences. Don't I know it, Russell replies. Young pros lined up, trying to make a nice name. Dwight invites Russell to dinner at his home, and Russell says he'd love to, but needs to think about his own self-preservation since he turned Ray's job down. They clink glasses. My friend, thanks for the break, Dwight says.
Tyson expands his hustle in Tulsa King Season 3, Episode 9.
Gouda slides into the booth. Was that Russell Lee Washington? He asks. That's right, the best there ever was, Dwight says, explaining the contract Quiet Ray's put on him. That's a long fucking drive for a warning. You think he's playing you? Goody asks, but Dwight doesn't suspect so. Goody asks why Russell would be willing to give Dwight a break. Because I saved his life in the joint about 20 years ago, Dwight says. Goody commits to upping security and will reach out to local establishments to track any new players in town. Tyson arrives with an envelope of cash for Bodhi, who's astounded that's his take for just one night. You didn't even break anything, he replies, before sarcastically saying, have a seat, please. I'd love it if you stayed for a while. Tyson continues, the ecstasy game is showing a lot of potential, correct? I'm talking money growing on trees kind of potential. Bodhi's not convinced it wasn't beginner's luck. If it was that easy, everyone would be doing it. Tyson adds salesmanship plays a role too. You got to know how to talk that talk, he says. Tyson does add that he has a little issue. He's running low on product, and he wants to know if Bodhi has an ecstasy connection. I don't fuck with that anymore, Bodhi says, before adding, you don't need a supplier. It's just like baking, except the ingredients are chemicals. I don't know how to fucking bake, bro. I'm not trying to fuck anybody up with a bad cut. Bodhi, please help me out, man. This is the first time since Dwight ever been to Tulsa that I've been earning my keep. A little heart-to-heart later, and Bodhi relents. Okay, I'll beg for you. But you do not deal on premises. Not here, not bred to buck. Do not cross-pollinate, he says. Tyson agrees. I do not need Dwight blowing a fucking gasket, Bodhi replies. And they agree Tyson really owes Bodhi one. Russell is set to leave Tulsa when Quiet Ray calls him, chiding him for dragging his feet, but Russell interrupts him. This bullshit's important. It's personal to you, not me, he says. What are you telling me? Quiet Ray replies. Russell says he's out. Quiet Ray has an old man tantrum before slamming his phone on the ground. Back at the office, Grace arrives at Joanne's office and admits she wants to work with Joanne more, take on more responsibility to help grow it. Joanne says yes immediately and pinches her nose. I'll teach you how to read a spreadsheet and then you can help me embezzle money for a cruise on the Queen Mary. It's a nice exchange.
Jeremiah Dunmire hits a business setback in Tulsa King, Season 3, Episode 9.
Cole enters Jeremiah Dunmire's office to warn him about what's going on. We lost 6 distributors, including premium spirits. That's not goddamn possible, Jeremiah says. The Montague just signed with Premium for a national launch, Cole adds. Jeremiah is speechless. Cole has one more thing to say, and we don't hear it. Cut to Jeremiah, upset, going out to the woodshed and taking an axe to a still. Jeremiah's yelling, emotional. Family died here. Your mother died here. He stops chopping, walks over to Cole, and puts the axe right up to Cole's face with a distraught look on his own. He drops it and walks off. At the Bread to Buck, Mitch tells Dwight that he spoke to a bartender friend who said a guy from New York came in, thick accent, the whole nine, bought cigarettes and booze, staying at the Masters Inn off Route 44. Margaret slides in saying she has to axe dinner because of a campaign event at the Fraternal Order of Police. With Russell, he's staying at some motel with gun in hand, looking at the old photo from the episode's beginning. He seems prepared to do something, but Dwight enters home alone, settling in to put a puzzle together with his gun on the table. Someone's lurking outside. It's Russell in business mode with black gloves on, gun in hand. He silently walks up Dwight's steps before pausing. He seems a little upset, but determined. Taking the gun in both hands, he steps towards Dwight's before Dwight hears a doorbell ring.
He grabs his gun and approaches the door, seeing no one at the keyhole, and opens the door gun first. It's Russell, now waving his black gloves. That dinner invitation still good? The pair sit together and drink Montague's best. I don't want this life no more. I know that for a fact, Russell confesses. Listen, when I came to Tulsa, I was really afraid. I was full of fucking fear, for real, Dwight says. Maybe what worked for you ain't gonna work for me, Russell points out. Maybe, Dwight replies, but what I saw you did tonight took a strong man, my man. Because you came here to take a life, second time in one day, and instead you gave me my life back. I appreciate that. That shows a man who wants to change. He rants about Quiet Ray a minute before telling Russell, keep heading for home, be reliant on your family, and have them rely on you. They toast, and Dwight tells Russell that Quiet Ray has already sent a New York hitter out to finish the job. Russell laughs. Just me or me and you? The answer is both, so Russell flashes his gun. Well, where are you at? Let's go have a little meet and greet.
Russell and Dwight quickly dispose of some assassins in Tulsa King Season 3, Episode 9. Cut to Dwight and Russell sitting outside his hotel, the same one the other assassin has checked into. Russell says they're too exposed, and they bicker about how to approach the building. Dwight offers to ask what room he's in, but Russell says, why don't we just leave a dead body? They ID you, catch a case. This is not your thing, is it? No, it's not, Manfredi admits. Russell explains the weight factor, which Dwight doesn't understand. See, you're never in the trenches, so you don't know. When you drop a guy that weighs about 220, between the time you shoot him and when he hits the ground, he gains about 2,000 pounds, dead weight. They place bets on the right room, between 209 and 211, but assassin types come out of both. You got two guys that want to kill you, Dwight jokes. I'm a bad motherfucker. Takes two, Russell laughs. They leave their cars after attaching silencers to their guns and approach the doors, kicking them down simultaneously and catching the assassins unaware. 2 easy executions later, they close the doors and casually leave. Back at Mitch's place, he's interrupted by a visit from Cleo. Grace called after the bombing and I couldn't get back here fast enough, she says. Lucky the cops didn't chase me down. Yeah, they tend to have a thing for you, he replies. I thought if I left, I couldn't lose you, but it turns out you can lose people just fine from a distance, she says. Who knew? They embrace. Meanwhile, Vince arrives at the hotel to see that the cops have found the dual assassinations, and he's upset. Back at the distillery, Joanne is woken up at night by a sound and grabs a gun. She hollers, but one of Dunmire's thugs puts a gun to her head. Drop it. Mr. Dunmire would like to speak to you, he says. Roll credits. What will happen to Joanne? Is Bill Bevilacqua still underground? Did the KC mob forget him already? We have one more episode left to see how everything shakes out.